in our space. That hasn't had a shock, and that hasn't had a disruption to their economy. What they usually do is that they will pick our inflation figure and say that we are 35, and Ivory Coast is at 7 or 9, so they are doing better. That is not true, because Ivory Coast before now were doing under 1% inflation, and so today if they are moved from 1 to 9, even though they are at 9, they are worse off than they used to be before the economic disruption. And so that analysis and comparison itself is flawed. The United States is not going through any better economy than we are seeing. The reason is because until today, the United States were doing better. But because of the economic disruption, they are seeing a 40-year inflation. UK is struggling. Germany is struggling. Brazil is struggling. Turkey, around 2021-2022, went as far as 80% inflation. Yeah. So it is never true that there are other economies that didn't go through shocks. But the fact remains that the level of shocks will differ because the architecture of the economies are different. Yeah. And that is why in our resolution of the temporal shocks, we say that as we resolve with temporal solution, midterm solutions, let's begin to look into the future to do things that will make us resilient, to be able to withstand shocks like the other countries are able to do, at least reduce the impacts than other countries are feeling. If you go to some of the first world countries, there are certain states that didn't suffer the shocks that the federal state is suffering. Why? Because they have managed to build strong local economies, where a lot of these local economies are independent of the federal economy. That is a kind of economy that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is preaching.
Now, beyond digitalization, what are the 5 key areas that he will be focusing on? You say that we need to bring back a resilient economy. What are the 5 key areas he will be talking about in turning around the corner, like you people say?
Don't force me into saying the things that my boss will be saying.
No, I'm not forcing you.
Give us an inkling.
Yes, give us an inkling so that we know that.
He will speak about the economy. He will speak about education. He will speak about health. He will speak about employment.
Will he speak about running mates?
No. He will not speak about running mates.
Will he speak about where the key is with regards to the IGP?
Yes, he will speak about it.
Is the key with the IGP?
He will speak about it.
He will speak about it.
Keys also get missing, don't they?
If you're just joining us, this is live coverage on multiple media platforms. We are bringing you the coverage of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's address to the nation, which address will be the first time he's doing so since being elected the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, the first of so many things, the first Northerner to be doing so, and like Introductory said to me, the first non-lawyer to be flag bearer of the NPP. It is happening at the UPSA here in Accra. My name is Umar Rusanda Amadu with City FM and City TV. I'm doing this with Kwame Introductory with
You keep calling me Kwame. It's Kweku Introductory.
with Assassin Radio, and of course Lily Mohammed with GH1. And we are bringing in some of the key personalities here every now and then. We had earlier Padre Boachi Dankwa, where we engage him about what is going to happen. We currently have with us in our makeshift studio Dennis Miracles Abuaje. Meanwhile, behind me, lots of dignitaries seated. The former President John Ejekun Kufuor is here for this momentous occasion. The spouse of the President, Rebecca Kufuor, is also to support the Vice President. We're expecting the Vice President to come in soon, any moment from now, based on what we have been told. All the people who have been named as potential running mates are having front row seats here. Talk about Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, the Minister for Energy, or the Minister for Education, Dr. Yawose Educhum. We also have the Honorable Oseche Mensah Bonsu. You are not a running mate.
Miracles.
You are not currently a running
Miracles.
But Dennis, are we possibly looking at a female candidate for the running mate slot?
Anybody.
So it could be you.
Has the NPP thought of a female running mate?
You brought that thing about nobody knew Dr. Bawumia. The jostling for running mate for him. Is it not overwhelmed by all these people wanting to be running mate?
It's never been different. Even during his time, in 2008, the jostling was more than this. And then they were all in the room waiting to be mentioned, and then they brought Bawumia. It could be anybody. It could be anybody. Because at the end of the day, the president is looking for a vice president that will complement him.
Does he need the blessing of Akufo-Addo, his boss, to choose a running mate?
He doesn't.
Are you sure?
He needs a ratification of the National Council.
Yeah, but
he doesn't need another.
The man who brought him from that obscure corner in the Bank of Ghana.
You said need.
Okay, need.
He said need.
Okay.
So
it does
I
not
know
need
for
to.
a fact that because of the relationship that exists between him and Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, he will definitely seek counsel. He will seek counsel from a lot of elders in the party. He will go to President Kufuor, he will go to Nanado, he will go to the elders of the party. He will consult. But ultimately the decision is his.
Are you sure?
Definitely.
But we are hearing things on the ground.
Like what?
That Adodi say he doesn't like somebody.
So you see, there is a point you were going to make earlier and then you left it. This falsehood and propaganda about Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia not going to be a man of his own is the worst of thinking that I've ever heard. In fact, when they say that he should prove that he will be a man of himself, I'm surprised because the social science data available and the evidence available rather supports the fact that no two leaders are ever the same. All over the world.
Right.
There is nowhere in the world since centuries till now where we've had two leaders being the same. In fact, even our traditional system where it is hereditary and it's inheritance, one uncle will leave and the nephew will come. You will never have them being the same. And so if there's anybody that needs to bring evidence, it should be the proponents of that point that should bring evidence. But Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and had indication of the fact that definitely there are certain paths that Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo would have taken, that he, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, if voted president, would not take those
He's going to depart, and would that be very visible? We'll see that for starting on Free Senior High School, he's departing on E-Levy, for instance. He will make that pronouncement.
If in his speech today, if Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia disagrees with any and ultimate responsibility, do with City TV, that if you are going to go into a production, you may say that you don't want a microphone that you will hold. You want a microphone you will clip. But if the production decide that you will hold it, you will have no choice than to hold it. That does not mean that you have departed from it, but it only means that if you become the man in charge, you will not use the holding microphone, but you use the lapel.
Right. So while we've been talking, Katie Hammond, the Minister for Trade, has arrived. Francis Asensubachi is also arrived. Professor, yes, from Matama. Professor Mike Eronekwe, former speaker, has also arrived and taken his seat. Exactly. And there are quite a number of people. I've seen Accra Commando. Henry Korte is also in the building. I mean, every person that you can count as a stalwart of the party or serving in government, and the room is full. Now, we're being told by the Master of Ceremonies that the Vice President is almost here. He's billed to arrive at exactly 5:15, which is about 9 minutes away. So we have about 9 minutes to wrap this conversation up. Lily, you had a question for
right, I was asking.
Miracle.
He says that one of the things is his vision. If he had a vision, that's okay, that's fine. Why did he shelve it from the Akufo-Addo government? I mean, he's the chairman of the EMT, the Economic Management Team.
So Umaru Sanda wants to use the lapel.
Right.
The decision of the production is for him to hold a microphone. He can't say that because he didn't get a lapel, he will not do his job. He will still come and hold a microphone and do his job. But if Umaru Sanda,
exactly.
But if Umaru Sanda,
is he going to sell out his
if any leader,
how many of the decisions had his seal of approval?
but if Umaru Sanda gets the opportunity to become, but if Umaru Sanda gets the opportunity to become the head of production, he may not use a microphone. That notwithstanding, any leader that supports the collective responsibility, the collective action, and later comes out of it to bastardize it, is a leader you shouldn't trust. What do you do? He will not tell you the things he didn't support. He will tell you the new things he will do. He will do differently.
So essentially, he's just going to tell us, I will improve on A, B, C, and D.
Yes, or I'll do this differently, I'll do this differently, I'll do this differently.
So if he say I'll do it differently, it means that
he didn't support.
SHS, they did it like this, they did double track, I don't like it, I will cancel.
He doesn't have to add, I don't like it. Maybe the double track period has come for it to be terminated.
So if he says it,
You see, the point is that I may not like it. It won't be that I didn't like it.
Okay.
Double track was necessary probably at a certain point. You see, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo had a vision. The vision definitely should be within the confines of 8 years. Nothing more, nothing less. It is time for that vision to terminate.
Would he tell us that he didn't like E-Levy, but they brought it?
He doesn't have to tell you. What he has to tell you is that I believe E-Levy going into the future should be in this direction.
Is that what you're saying he will say?
I am saying that That is what a leader of his sort will do.
Okay.
But you don't know that is what you say. You're just preempting.
No, I'm telling you that the views, the new things he wants to introduce, or the new direction he wants to go, be rest assured that he will mention them. But your interpretation is what I want to correct this on air today. That the Vice President has been categorical. That the fact that he's charting new path doesn't mean that he has any problem whatsoever. And I've given you a practical example. That the fact that you are holding this microphone, even though you want a lapel, doesn't mean that you have any problem with your production team. But if you have the mandate to take the decision, you would use a lapel and not a microphone.
Right, so I think at this point, Miracles, I would like for us to move slightly away from the economy and all the other stuff. This has to do with, see, if you look at the voices from across civil society, the opposition, everyone has talked about the size of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government. Do you foresee Dr. Bawumia making any comments around how he intends the size of his government to be?
Like I said, I will not be drawn into taking the wind out of his mouth. But I work with him, and I know that if Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia becomes president, he will have a lesser size government than we have at the moment.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Miracles, the name of Abuaji is a man who is working with the Vice President, and he's just joining us now. Let me just say that the broadcast we are bringing you is from the UPSA, and permit me to just do a 360 and show you what's happening here. Where the flag of the new patriotic party, also Vice President of the land, is just arriving now. He is being welcomed with thousands of supporters who beg for this particular town to bring in, to listen to the speech that's going to be given by for the 2024 election. Addressing the party members having obtained or taken the flag as New Patriotic Party flag bearer. And for some reason, everybody has been given miniature Ghana flags that they are using to welcome the flag bearer of the NPP here. And they are giving it the national picture, the patriotic picture, where they say to us that it is given only to NPP members, but it's also speaking to Ghanaians as a whole. Because mind you, is the Vice President of the land. He can be acting president anytime. He has been Vice President for 7 years and he has been doing this job for the past 7 years. Whatever Akufo-Addo will be blamed and accused of, he would equally share that blame and be accused of same. We're just waiting for his grand entry into the UPSA hall and all of that happening. Let me bring in the newly minted parliamentary candidate of the Central, the former journalist, now turned politician, Jefferson Saki of International Affairs. My brother, you're welcome.
Thank you, bro.
How for you? So you work for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as Deputy Communications Director. Now you are here with Dr. Bawumia. Is there a way you can differentiate these two persons and say Bawumia starts now, Akufo-Addo ends now? Is that even possible?
Well, I think I started working with Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia back in 2007 when the then candidate Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo chose him as his running mate. And so have a clear idea of how, you know, the two have worked hand in hand together. I know the charisma of the president and the charisma of Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I think Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia is the kind, reserved type of personality who finds a way of, you know, putting his message across in a very unique way. It's got his own style. And I'm very confident that, I mean, if there is a clear way to make those distinctions, it is very obvious for you to see. Bawumia is a reserved type. Akufo-Addo is that man who is quiet but action in one way or the other. So those two things are clear examples.
Today? What are the things we should be looking at today?
Well, I think we should expect some new direction. Obviously, what Ghanaians are looking out for is a leader who would bring something new. Even though perhaps he will be willing to build upon a continuity of what has been done already. what I know for a fact is that Bawumia will be a driver of his own. If he's able to put his messages across clearly and well for Ghanaians to understand, I am very certain that Ghanaians will be very convinced that yes, this will not only be a phase that has been in existence over the past 8 years, but a different phase and a different direction moving into 2025.
Now, Jefferson, you talk about continuity. I mean, look at the ordinary Ghanaian now. They complain about bread and butter, basic bread and butter issues. If then it is for continuity, why then must the Ghanaian choose Dr. Bawumia? Because the ordinary Ghanaian says, I am being punished in terms of taxes and the economic crisis that we are facing.
What I'm very certain is that Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is not going to be a continuation of this administration.
Right.
What I know is that he has his own vision. It is very important that, you know, this message that he's going to deliver tonight is able to spell that out. Having said that, it is also very important for him to deliver his record for Ghanaians to see that as Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, what were your achievements? What are the marks that shows that yes, you've been a very successful Vice President, and so if the Ghanaian people give you the mandate as the President of the Republic of Ghana, you can deliver. But I think the records are there for all of us to see. His digitalization agenda, which is very clear. All of us today can sit in our homes and do transactions digitally. Today, the police service, the National Ambulance Service are able to trace the residence of people, obviously because of a digitalized process that he put in place. So some of these things are very important. But for tonight, it is about what's new, what's special, what uniqueness, what new energy is Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia bringing on board moving into the 2024 elections.
One of the profound statements he made prior to the 2016 general elections was moving from taxation to production. How have we fared?
Well, I think it began with a process. But obviously, along the way, you know, we had challenges. I would say that in the first 3 years of the Akufo-Addo administration, we were very clear on our minds that this is a government that knows exactly what it is doing. Our GDP records were improving. We've recorded digital, figures in terms of the indices and all that. But of course, we all know the challenges that hit us. And obviously, these are challenges that hit everywhere in the world. But in terms of an industrialized Ghana, that is what we are all looking out for. I think Ghanaians are going to be very specific in terms of how Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will be able to transition from an Akufo-Addo-led administration into his own personal administration that will not bring any kind of contradiction whatsoever. It is going to be positivity. The man that I know is someone who is very focused in humility. He does it on a very quiet, and I'm very certain that he's also learned a lot, obviously. When you work with somebody for a long time, knowing the strength of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and how focused he is, I mean, as a presidential candidate, his vision and mission were very consistent. His message in 2008 was not different from his message in 2012, and it wasn't different from his message in 2016. And I think we have all come to learn that consistency in politics works in one way or the other, especially if you have the people who would push your dreams and aspirations forward.
His messages. One of the messages was he didn't believe in taxing mobile money. We have not heard him speak about the e-levy. Will he speak about the e-levy? Will he shy away from the position of the current government?
I don't think it will be good for me to say exactly the things that he
But you say you know the man.
Yeah,
you know what? All right, Jefferson.
His message for tonight, it is something exclusive to him, and we are all waiting to see exactly and hear exactly what new Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is bringing on board tonight, and that is the expectation of all parliamentary candidates here as well.
So he said to us that he was waiting to ensure that he had all your parliamentary candidates set. He didn't want trouble. Do you not think that he should have a say in who becomes parliamentary candidate where? He should have an interest. He should even sponsor candidates quietly so that he can have a full grip of the party. Akufo-Addo, for 16 to 20 years, owns the MPP now. He should also start owning the party.
The new patriotic party understands democracy. We do not impose people on constituencies. And I think the party machinery itself would always frown against something like that. And so, as an understander of democracy and the principles of the new patriotic party, I thought he thought it wise to be able to wait, no matter how long it took, for all parliamentary candidates to be elected before he delivers his message. Because mind you, we as parliamentary candidates would also be sending out his messages, right? We are only going to build upon the messages and his vision and localize it to what suits our various constituencies. So I think it is a step in the right direction.
So Jeff, let you hold on there. We are going to go to the auditorium now and receive the arrival of the Vice President, Dr. Bawumia. Kojo Oponkruma, the Minister for Information and Media Relations, who is also the Master of Ceremony for this particular event, has just announced the entry of Dr. Bawumia. Everybody has been asked to be on their feet, and they are on their feet to receive Dr. Bawumia. They are holding the miniature Ghana flag as they celebrate. From former President John Ejekum Kufuor, who is here, to the First Lady, Madam Rebecca Akufo-Addo, who is also here, Ministers of State, almost all Ministers of State are here. I see so many deputy ministers of state who are also coming here.
So,
presidential staff,
from my part,
parliamentary candidates have come to
so from where I'm seated, the entire party leadership is from the General Secretary to the Chairman of the party leading, the organizers, the dancers leading, and Dr. Bawumia is making his way through a crowd, followed immediately by his wife, Mrs. Samira Bawumia, and the entire hall is going into a frenzy with the flags of our dear nation being waved by everyone. He's made his way to the very front of the house, and he's been ushered to the seat reserved for him. The program will start as soon as the Yenara Yasasini song is sang by the Winneba Youth Choir, and the entire program will therefore be underway.
So Dr. Bawumia, the Vice President and flag bearer of the NPP, just entering the hall now. And having entered, he's shaking hands now with the persons on the front row. Several individuals of the NPP, from Chairman of the Party Council of Elders, Ahmed Osuajiman, from former Chairman, Freddie Wosime Wuble. I see former National Organizer of Blite Kome, Lord Kome. I see also in your shot there, the Honorable Chairman Sabos, leader of the caucus in Parliament, the Deputy Speaker of the House, Joseph Uzuzu. We have Attorney General Godfrey Yebo Adame, Deputy, former Deputy, now Minister for...
So he's been like...
The Vice President just shakes him, the potential running mate. I am seeing he's being flanked by the his spouse doing the greetings and exchanging of pleasantries. Speaking there to all the persons who matter, the national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Stephen Ayenso, and team receiving him, Rebecca Akufo-Addo, the wife of the vice president's boss. They just gave a very warm embrace. Okay.
Wave your flags, wave your flags, wave your flags, wave your flags. And he's exchanging pleasantries with colleagues who he contested the presidential candidature with. Isn't this beautiful? A party united, a party bold and strong. Give us a wave of your Ghana flag wherever you are. first floor and second floor, the leader is about to give you away. The leader is about to give you away. The leader is about to give you away. When the leader arrives at a sitting position, we shall remain standing for the Yenara Assassin Day and the opening prayer. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We shall remain standing. We shall remain standing as the Winneba Youth Choir sings for us the Yenara Assassin Apostle in Togo will say an opening prayer for us. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the Winneba Youth Choir. And we are very grateful to the Winneba Youth Choir for the patriotic songs ahead of this evening's engagement. We will remain standing for the opening prayer. Our colleagues in the media, please move to the media quadrant created for you.
Shall we pray? Father God, we gather here today under your care and protection. We thank you for everyone here present and those still on their way. We want to thank you also for the life fill our words and conversation with truth and grace, and may your perfect will be done through this event. In the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
You may please resume your seats, ladies and gentlemen. We ask our colleagues in the media to kindly move to the media quadrant as we get our engagement underway. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the UPSA, from where tonight the leader of the New Patriotic Party and the party's presidential candidate for the 2024 elections Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, will soon be addressing the Republic of Ghana. For any person seeking to lead a nation, he or she must have a bold, clear vision to express. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, running on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party, has a set of bold solutions to put out to the Republic tonight. But he does this on the shoulders of giants. The MPP has been blessed with leaders who over the years have demonstrated bold visions for Ghana. J.B. Dankwa expressed bold visions of a democratic country with respect for rights. S.K. Dumbo expressed a vision of a robust parliament, even if it had to cost him his own leadership. K. Buzia believed in decentralization and rural development, among others. Albert Edubuahin spoke about strong governance institutions to build a strong nation. John Ejekum Kufuor, among others, spoke about building the golden age of business. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, among others, spoke about the free senior high school program. And for the year 2024, we have a new leader. I said we have a new leader. We have a new leader in the person of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. And he too will soon be setting out his vision for the Republic. Before he does so, I want to invite Dr. Antoinette Tibudako to acknowledge some of our key dignitaries who are.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. We are truly grateful to everyone who has made it here today. It is indeed a great day as we all gather to listen to the maiden speech of His Excellency, the flag bearer and leader of our great party. But we still have to mention the many who have joined us today. His Excellency, the former President of Ghana, John Ejekum Kufuor, thank you for coming here today. Her Excellency, the beautiful First Lady of the Republic of Ghana, thank you for joining us today. Her Excellency, the awesome, unique, and spiritual Second Lady of Ghana, Hajia Samira Bawumia, the wife of our flag bearer, thank you for joining us today. Her Excellency, Honorable Frema Akosia Opare, the Ghana's first female Chief of Staff, thank you for being with us. Members of the National Council and elders of MPP, our National Chairman, my General Secretary and our General Secretary, former presidential aspirants and of the New Patriotic Party, former presidential candidates, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished traditional rulers, revered Council of Zongo Chiefs and Elders, honorable ministers and deputy ministers of state, our religious leaders and members of the Christian Council of Ghana, honorable members of parliament, our parliamentary candidates, metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives, CEOs and deputies of all state agencies, past and present leadership of the New Patriotic Party from our regions and all constituencies, representatives of all political parties in Ghana, academia and heads of all institutions, civil society and non-governmental organizations, representatives of all workers' unions and other bodies, distinguished invited guests, students, our UPSA family, the Pro-VC, who is our host for today, fellow patriots from all over Ghana, our media partners from across the country, and every citizen here gathered, especially our cherished viewers on all stations and channels who are listening to us today. Our deepest appreciation for your time, for your presence, and your dedication. We promise you an exciting journey together. Thank you for joining us. And now, he is the aide to lead the majestic Elephant Party. He is persevering and yet extremely gentle and calm, but he has a firm hand. Your Excellencies, honorable members, distinguished invited guests, fellow patriots, let us welcome with a resounding applause our national chairman, Honorable Stephen Ayesu Intim.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a very tall addressing of all the dignitaries, but I'll give it a shot. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic, in the person of Alhaji Dr. Mahmudu Bawumia, Your Excellency, former President John Ajekun Kufuor, the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Justin Kodua Frimpong. All protocols duly observed. I am happy to welcome all of you, those of us gathered in this auditorium and those watching through various media channels, to this historic occasion. On the 4th of November 2023, we made history. The MPP made history by electing His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmudu Bawumia as the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party. Not only is he the fourth presidential candidate of the party in this dispensation, but he's also the first minority candidate. This is a testament to the party's commitment to democracy and inclusivity. By electing Dr. Bawumia, we have demonstrated that we are not an exclusivist party, but one that values diversity and embraces different perspectives. I commend Dr. Mahmudu Bawumia for his exceptional determination and hard work, which has earned him the well-deserved position of the MPP's presidential candidate for 2024. I congratulate him on my behalf, as well as on behalf of all the national officers, most of whom are present here with us. Their continued support for the party and the democratic process is greatly appreciated. Indeed, our presence here today shows our love for the party and commitment to its values. Thank you for being part of our journey towards a better future. I want to express my sincere appreciation to the party's rank and file for their discipline and hard work in organizing the widely acclaimed, peaceful, and transparent presidential and parliamentary primaries. I commend your efforts, and I expect all parliamentary candidates and party executives to take immediate action by reaching out to all unsuccessful aspirants and form formidable constituency campaign teams to guarantee our party retains its majority in the 10th Parliament. Failure to do so is not an option. It is time to put aside all differences and come together. Let us bridge every gap, heal every wound, and work together with a renewed passion for victory. Remember, when we stand united, we are unstoppable. So, let's join hands and search or march in unity towards a resounding first round victory on December 7th. Having said this, it is indeed possible. I don't want to take the wind out of the sail of our flag bearer, so thank you for listening, and I leave the floor. Thank you.
I think we could do it better. Another round of applause for our honorable chairman. He is popularly called Ghana's gentle giant. He ruled from 2000 to 2008. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we now invite the most revered former president of Ghana for his message.